Hey there, YouTubers. Short video for you today, and one that might not make much sense if you don't have a disability. Um, and actually, even if you have a disability, depending on the circumstances, it still might not make sense. As the title would suggest, this video is going to be about guilt. And it's a strange kind of guilt that I feel sometimes, not all the time, but usually rears its ugly head when I'm feeling down about other things, and then I'll think about this thing and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's a good thing to feel guilty or depressed or sad about. And that is sometimes I feel guilty for having an injury, for having a disability, even though the injury was not my fault. Um, if you've watched this channel for a long time, you know how my injury happened. It was during, it was a mistake during surgery, so I had no control over that. Um, but I still occasionally, rarely, feel guilty about that. Um, and so the logic of that is the reason I feel guilty sometimes is that um, I look at my parents' lives and I think to myself, oh, well, and again, this is only when I'm feeling down about other things do I ever think about this. But well, they didn't want to have a son with a disability, and then it starts there, and then I think of all the things like how has their life been different because they had a child with a disability. And I think they had to do this different. They had to do this different. They had to spend time doing this. They had to spend time doing that. And the reality of the situation is that my parents did everything they possibly could for me, and never blinked an eye at doing anything that they could for me. So I shouldn't feel guilty, but once in a while I do sometimes, because I feel like, oh, maybe their lives would have been better if I either A, didn't have the disability, or B, hadn't survived the surgery, and therefore they wouldn't have had to deal with anything like that. So it's a weird kind of thing, and um, I I don't doubt that some other people with similar that had similar disabilities as me, or disabilities from a very young age, let's say, might feel similar things. Um, but it's also possible that maybe they don't. I'm, it varies greatly from person to person, I'm sure. Anyway, I happen to be thinking of this a day or two ago, and I was like, you know what? Geez, I haven't done a video on that, and probably would be a good thing to talk about because it might be something that uh, people who don't have disabilities that watch this channel um, might not even think about. So anyway, that was pretty much it. Thanks for watching. See you again next time. Don't forget to subscribe. If you have a comment, maybe you've experienced a similar thing, let me know. Okay, stay safe out there.